Ladies and gentlemen, you can always tell a lot about a person by the way they keep their home. A clean home isn't just about spotless floors or dust-free shelves. It's a reflection of the mind, the heart, and the habits that shape a person's daily life. Seniors who live in clean, well-kept homes aren't lucky or naturally neat. They have built small but powerful habits that keep chaos away and welcome peace in. Stage brings. These habits aren't just about cleaning, they're about living intentionally. Today, I want to share the 8 habits seniors with clean homes do every single day, and how you can bring the same calm and order into your own life. Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any video. Habit number 1, they tidy as they go. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and it just feels calm, like the air itself is lighter. That's the magic of a space that's been cared for moment by moment, not left to become a mountain of chores. Seniors with the cleanest understand this better than anyone. They've mastered the art of tidying as they go. It's not about spending hours scrubbing. It's about the little choices they make in real time that keep their home peaceful and inviting. Tidying as you go is a mindset more than a task. It's the habit of dealing with small messes before they grow into big ones. Imagine making a sandwich. Someone without this habit might leave the bread bag open, the crumbs on the counter, and the knife in the sink thinking, "I'll clean it up later." But a senior who's built this habit will put the bread away, wipe the counter, and rinse the knife immediately. So by the time the sandwich is ready, the kitchen is already back in order. The reward: no looming mess to drag down their mood later. I remember visiting a retired teacher named Mrs. Lawson. Her home wasn't fancy, but it felt like a heaven. She told me, "I never leave a room worse than I found it." She'd smooth a pillow as she stood up from the couch, hang her cardigan before walking into the kitchen, and scoop up a stray magazine on her way to the bedroom. She didn't think of it as cleaning, just as part of living. And because of that, her home never felt overwhelming to maintain. So how can you start practicing this habit today? First, follow the 2-minute rule. If something will take less than 2 minutes to fix, like putting shoes back in the closet or wiping a spill, do it immediately. Second, make transitions your tidy moments. Whenever you leave a room, scan quickly for one thing you can straighten, put away, or clean before you go. Third, think of every activity as having a setup, reset. Just as you prepare a space before using it, always reset it to its original state afterward. The beauty of tidying as you go is that it frees you from that heavy, guilty feeling of a long to-do list. Instead of being buried under hours of weekend cleaning, your space remains ready for living, for hosting, whenever you want. And isn't that what a home should be? A place you enjoy, not a project you dread. In the end, this habit is about respecting your own time and energy. When you tidy as you go, you're making tomorrow easier before tomorrow even arrives. And those small acts, repeated daily, don't just keep your home clean. They create an environment where peace, clarity, and pride in your space can flourish. Habit number 2, they have a place for everything. Have you ever spent 15 minutes searching for your glasses, only to find them sitting on the kitchen counter right where you swore you'd already looked? It's frustrating, isn't it? That wasted time, the little rush of stress, the disruption of your focus, it all adds up. Seniors with truly clean and organized homes have found a way to avoid this chores. They have a place for everything. And everything goes back to its place. This isn't just about being neat for the sake of appearance. Having a place for everything means creating a home where you can find what you need exactly when you need it. It's about reducing friction in daily life and freeing your mind from the mental clutter that comes from misplaced items. Think about it. How much calmer would your mornings be if your keys were always hanging on the same hook, your phone charger was always in the same drawer, and your favorite mug was always right where you expected it? I remember visiting my neighbor, Mr. Harris, a retired carpenter. His workshop was a perfect example of this habit. Every tool had a dedicated spot, outlined on the pegboard so there was no confusion. He told me, "If I have to search for it, I've already wasted time." That same principle carried over into his home. Coats hung on their hooks, paperwork filed in labeled folders. Even the TV remote had its designated spot. Because he never had to search, his days felt smoother and more intentional. If you want to bring this habit into your own life, start small. First, identify the items you lose most often: keys, glasses, phone, and assign them a permanent home. It can be as simple as a small dish by the door or a specific pocket in your bag. Second, create zones in your house based on activity. Keep cooking utensils near the stove, reading glasses by your favorite chair, and cleaning supplies where you use them most. Third, make returning items to their place a non-negotiable part of finishing any task. Done with the scissors, back in the drawer. Finished with the notebook, back on the shelf. This habit does more than prevent clutter. It builds a sense of order that affects your mood and mindset. When your surroundings are organized, your thoughts follow suit. You stop wasting mental energy on searching and start using it for things that actually matter. And isn't that the point? To spend less time hunting for the things you need and more time enjoying the life you're building. In the end, having a place for everything is an act of respect. For your time, your energy, and your home. It's a simple choice, repeated daily, that turns chess into calm and transforms your space into a place where life flows with ease instead of friction. Habit number 3. They make the bed every morning. There's something quietly powerful about walking into your bedroom and seeing a neatly made bed. It doesn't matter if the day ahead is busy or calm. Starting with that one small accomplishment instantly makes you feel more in control. Seniors who keep their homes clean understand this secret. They make the bed every single morning, no matter what. At first glance, it might seem like a trivial task. After all, you're just going to mess it up again at night, right? But making the bed isn't really about the bed. It's about setting the tone for your entire day. It's about telling yourself, I care enough to start my morning with order and intention. That one act creates a ripple effect, making you more likely to keep your space tidy and your mind focused. I remember visiting my aunt, who's in her 70s, and one of the most organized people I know. She told me, no matter how I feel, I always make the bed. It's my way of saying I'm ready for the day. Even when she had an early doctor's appointment or a long list of errands, she never skipped it. The rest of her home reflected that same discipline. Neat, calm, and inviting. She said that on difficult days, coming home to a made bed gave her comfort, like a quiet reward waiting for her. If you want to make this a habit, start simple. First, keep your bedding minimal and manageable so the task doesn't feel overwhelming. Maybe just a sheet, a comforter, and a couple of pillows. Second, do it as soon as you get up, before you get distracted by your phone, coffee, or the day's responsibilities. Third, see it as a gift to your future self. Because when you come back to your room at night, you'll feel a little wave of relief instead of stress. Think about it. How often do we underestimate the impact of small routines? We wait for big changes, but it's often the little habits, repeated consistently, that shape our mood and productivity. And isn't it amazing that something taking less than 2 minutes can shift the way your entire day feels? Making the bed is more than housekeeping. It's a mindset. It's proof that small, deliberate actions matter. It's a reminder that you're the kind of person who finishes what you start, even if it's just smoothing out the covers and fluffing the pillows. And when you begin your day with that kind of intention, you set yourself up for victories, both big and small, before you even had your first cup of tea. Habit number 4. They keep surfaces clear. Have you ever walked into a kitchen and felt instantly at ease because the counters were clear and open? Or stepped into a living room where the coffee table wasn't buried under mail, remote controls, and yesterday's coffee cups? There's something freeing about a space where surfaces breathe. Seniors who keep their homes consistently clean understand this secret. They protect their surfaces from becoming dumping grounds. Clear surfaces don't just look nice. They change how you feel in your home. A cluttered counter or table can create visual noise, constantly pulling at your attention and making you feel busier than you really are. When those spaces are clear, it's like your mind gets a chance to exhale. You have room to cook without moving piles aside, to read a book without shifting stacks of papers, to simply enjoy your surroundings without feeling overwhelmed. I once visited a retired couple, Mr. and Mrs. Cooper, who lived in a modest but beautiful home. Every table, counter, and dresser looked like it was ready for a magazine photo. Yet it didn't feel staged, it felt lived in. When I asked their secret, Mrs. Cooper smiled and said, "We don't let anything sit where it doesn't belong. If it's out, It's either being used, or it's on its way back to where it lives. That simple rule meant their home always felt ready to welcome guests. And more importantly, ready to welcome them. If you want to build this habit, start with 3 simple steps. First, pick one hotspot in your home. Maybe the entryway table or kitchen counter. That tends to collect clutter. Commit to keeping it completely clear for 1 week. Second, create a designated spot for the items that usually end up there, whether it's a mail basket, a key hook, or a small drawer for odds and ends. Third, make it a daily ritual, before bed or after dinner, to do a quick sweep and clear every flat surface. It only takes a few minutes, but the impact is huge. Ask yourself, how much mental energy do you waste every day moving piles from one place to another? How much calmer would you feel if every surface in your home was ready for use at any moment? The truth is, keeping surfaces clear is less about cleaning and more about creating space for life to happen. It's about giving yourself the freedom to cook without clearing counters, to work without shuffling stacks, to relax without visual clutter weighing you down. When you protect your surfaces, you protect your peace. And in the long run, that peace becomes one of the most valuable things your home can give you. Habit number 5. They follow the one in, one out rule. Have you ever opened a closet and felt like it was bursting at the seams? Clothes crammed together. Shoes stacked in chaotic piles. Things you haven't touched in years buried in the back. It's a common problem, and it doesn't happen overnight. Clutter sneaks in slowly. One purchase, one gift. I might need this someday, at a time. Seniors who keep their homes consistently clean and clutter-free know how to stop this cycle. They live by the one out rule. The idea is simple. For every new item you bring into your home, you let go of one existing item. Bought a new pair of shoes. Donate or toss an old pair. Added a new mug to your kitchen. A pass along one you don't use anymore. This keeps your belongings in balance and prevents clutter from silently taking over your space. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about making intentional choices so your home stays manageable. I remember chatting with my neighbor, Mrs. Blake, who has one of the most organized homes I've ever seen. She told me about a time years ago when she realized her attic was packed with things she didn't even remember owning. It took her weeks to sort through it all, and she vowed never to let it happen again. That's when she adopted the one in, one out rule. Now, every time she brings something home, whether it's clothing, books, or even kitchen gadgets, she immediately chooses something to donate, sell, or throw away. Her home has stayed clutter-free ever since, and she says it makes her feel lighter and more in control. If you want to start using this habit, here are a few practical tips. First, keep a small donation box in a convenient spot, maybe a closet or laundry room, so it's easy to drop items in when you make space for something new. Second, apply the rule immediately, not later. The moment you unpack your new item, decide what's leaving. Third, extend the rule beyond shopping. If someone gives you a gift that replaces something you own, let the old one go. This way, nothing extra lingers and builds into clutter. Ask yourself, how many things in your home do you truly use and enjoy, and how many are just taking up space? How much lighter would you feel if everything you owned had a purpose? The beauty of the one out rule is that it keeps your home in balance effortlessly. You don't have to wait for a big spring cleaning project or feel overwhelmed by piles of unused stuff. You're maintaining your space as you live, making small choices every day that protect your home's comfort and order. In the end, it's not just about managing possessions. It's about creating a home that always feels open, organized, and ready for living. Habit number 6. They do a 10-minute reset. You know that sigh of relief you feel when you walk into a room that's neat and orderly. Imagine ending every single day with that feeling. Seniors who keep their homes consistently clean often share a simple but powerful habit. They do a quick 10-minute reset before calling it a night. It's not about deep cleaning or reorganizing an entire room. It's about restoring order so they can wake up to a fresh, calm space instead of yesterday's mess. The 10-minute reset is exactly what it sounds like, a short burst of focused tidying at the end of the day. It's picking up items that wandered away from their usual spots, straightening cushions, stacking mail, or loading the dishwasher. It's amazing how much you can accomplish in such a short time when you stay focused. And the payoff? You get to start your morning without being greeted by a visual to-do list. I once visited Mr. and Mrs. Parker, a retired couple who always seemed so relaxed and unhurried. One evening, as we were chatting, Mrs. Parker excused herself for the reset. She walked around the living room, gathered 2 coffee mugs, folded a throw blanket, and stacked a few books neatly on the shelf. Then she moved to the kitchen, wiped the counters, and set out clean mugs for the next morning's tea. I timed her. It took exactly 9 minutes. She smiled and said, "Now I can sleep knowing tomorrow will start smooth." If you want to try this habit, start by setting a timer for 10 minutes so it doesn't feel overwhelming. First, focus on high-impact areas. The spaces you see first thing in the morning, like the living room or kitchen. Second, make it a family or household activity if possible. Divide tasks so everyone participates, making it faster and easier. Third, keep it simple. This is not the time for organizing closets or scrubbing floors. Stick to quick wins, put away clutter, clear surfaces, and prep for the next day. Ask yourself, how much stress could you eliminate if your mornings began in a home that was already in order? How much more peaceful would it feel to wake up and move straight into your day without facing piles of yesterday's mess? The truth is, a 10-minute reset is less about cleaning and more about setting the stage for a better tomorrow. It's a small investment of time with a big return. A calmer mind, a smother mornings, and a home that feels like it's working with you, not against you. When you make this a nightly ritual, you're not just tidying your space. You're building a habit of ending each day on a high note. And that's the kind of momentum worth carrying into tomorrow. Habit number 7. They respect the power of small cleaning rituals. It's often the little things we do, without thinking, that shape the overall feeling of our home. A single swipe of a cloth over the counter, a quick sweep of the entryway, or neatly folding a throw blanket. These moments seem insignificant in isolation. Yet together they create an atmosphere of order and care. Seniors who keep their homes consistently clean understand this well. They respect the power of small cleaning rituals, knowing that it's these micro habits that prevent big messes and make their homes feel calm every day. Small cleaning rituals aren't about dedicating hours to chores. They're about weaving tiny actions into the natural rhythm of life. The beauty is, these tasks are so quick and easy that they barely feel like cleaning. Instead, they become part of your daily flow. Wiping down the bathroom sink after brushing your teeth. Washing a pot immediately after cooking. Sweeping the kitchen floor while your coffee brews. Each act is a small investment that keeps clutter and grime from ever taking over. I think of Mr. Dalton, a retired postman I used to visit. His home always felt welcoming, never spotless like a showroom, but warm and orderly. One afternoon, I asked him how he managed to keep it that way without spending all day cleaning. He chuckled and said, "I just don't let things pile up. I do a little bit here and there." Then he demonstrated. After making us tea, he washed the cups right away, dried them, and placed them back in the cupboard before we even sat down. It was so natural to him, it didn't feel like work at all. If you want to build this habit, start with 3 steps. First, attach a quick cleaning task to something you already do daily. For example, after brushing your teeth, wipe down the mirror and sink. Second, focus on high-traffic areas where small messes build up quickly, like the kitchen counters or entryway. Third, aim for consistency, not perfection. The goal is to maintain a baseline of tidiness so deep cleaning is never overwhelming. Ask yourself, what would happen if you treated these tiny tasks as non-negotiable parts of your day, just like making your bed or locking the door at night? How much time, energy, and stress could you save by never letting messes grow beyond a few minutes' work? The truth is, small cleaning rituals are like quiet guardians of your home. They don't demand much from you, but they protect your space from chaos. And when you honor these rituals, you're not just maintaining your home, you're creating a steady flow of order and care that makes daily life smoother, calmer, and infinitely more enjoyable. Over time, you realize it's not the grand cleaning sessions that matter most. It's the little moments you choose to care for your space again and again. Habit number 8. They value their space as a reflection of themselves. When you walk into someone's home, you can often sense something about them before they even say a word. The colors they choose, the way things are arranged, the care put into cleanliness. It's like a silent introduction. Seniors who maintain clean, inviting homes understand this deeply. They see their space as a reflection of themselves. They know They know that how they care for their home says something about how they care for their life. Valuing your space doesn't mean having expensive furniture or perfectly matched decor. It's about recognizing that your home is a mirror of your habits, your priorities, and even your state of mind. A cluttered, chaotic space can quietly drain your energy, while a tidy, well-kept environment can lift your mood and make you feel proud. The way you treat your surroundings sends a message, to yourself and to others, about how much you respect the life you're living. I remember visiting Mrs. Alvarez, a retired nurse in her late 70s. Her home was modest, but it felt like every corner had been touched by her care. The kitchen counters were spotless. A fresh vase of flowers sat on the table, and her living room was arranged so you felt instantly welcome. She told me, "This house has been with me through everything. Taking care of it is my way of saying thank you, and reminding myself that I still deserve a beautiful place to live." That mindset turned ordinary cleaning into an act of self-respect. If you want to develop this habit, start with a shift in perspective. First, ask yourself what you want your space to say about you. Do you want it to communicate calm, creativity, warmth, or order? Second, make one visible area, like your entryway, living room, your kitchen counter, your personal statement space, and keep it consistently clean and inviting. Third, add personal touches that make your home feel like yours. Whether it's family photos, meaningful artwork, or a favorite scent. Think about it. When you walk into a home that feels cared for, doesn't it instantly change your impression of the person who lives there? And if that's true, what impression is your own home giving you each day? In the end, valuing your space as a reflection of yourself isn't about perfection. It's about intention. It's about saying, "This is my life, and I'm going to treat it with dignity." When you care for your home, you're also caring for your sense of pride, your peace of mind, and your daily quality of life. And the best part, the more you honor your space, the more it will give back to you in comfort, beauty, and the quiet confidence that comes from living in a place that truly reflects who you are. The truth is, clean home doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of small, intentional habits repeated day after day. Seniors who live in tidy, peaceful spaces aren't just cleaning. They're living with purpose. And when you adopt these 8 habits this stage brings, you're not only creating a home you're proud of, you're creating a life filled with clarity, calm, and joy.